Good morning, good afternoon, good night, whenever you're watching this. Hi, my name is Carla, and today we're doing something a little bit different. But before we talk about that, remember to like, comment, subscribe, love me, all of that, because every 100 subscribers, we are going to have a giveaway on this channel. Also, before we talk about what we're doing today, please excuse my nails. I didn't feel like fixing them. That's the truth. So, what we're doing today. Today, we're going to go over all of the ARCs that I have. These are advanced reader copies and some other books that are not ARCs that I have received to write book reviews on, because that is part of my job. I do write book reviews. Some of these books I will write reviews on, some of these books I will not. Some of them I will be contacting the publishers to let them know that these are just not the books I usually read, and so it would be unfair for me to try to review them. Sometimes I just receive books and people just don't read what I tell them to. On my website, I have a whole section that explains the books that I review. So, on that note, let's just start because there's a lot. These are not no particular order. I know they should be, but frankly, I just grabbed them from my bookshelf and threw them into a box and dragged them into my bedroom. So they're not in any order. They were in an order on the bookshelf, but they're not anymore. So when you receive an ARC, sometimes you do have the whole art not final thing, although generally the art doesn't change too much afterwards. So this particular book is The Remaking by Clay McLeod. Nope, I'm not going to be reading the authors because I'm going to mispronounce it, and that's rude, and I don't want to do that. So this is an ARC. As you can tell, here on the spine usually it says when it comes out, so this comes out in October, or maybe it came out October last year. Honestly, I have books that I'm really behind on. Yeah, this came out last year, so October 8th, 2019. Oops. The reason that I'm showing you ARCs, by the way, I feel like this is important to point out. It's not random. I'm showing you ARCs because some of these books are going to be some of the big giveaways that I'm going to be doing. So let's read what this is about. From campfire story to 70s horror flick to 90s meta remake to true crime podcast. So, this book, see, it's fiction horror. It has 304 pages. Blah, blah, blah. There was a campaign for it. I should have read it on time, but I didn't. Let me know if you're interested in me reading all of the summaries. I will not be doing that today just because there's so many books that I feel this video would end up being at least an hour long, at least, probably more if I were to do that. So I'm not going to be reading that, but I just wanted to show you all the books I have that might become part of the giveaway. Why can't I get this to be straight? There you go. Okay, so The Remaking is one of them. Let's put this aside. Next, The Stationery Shop. This book, actually, I am dying to read it. Ever since I received it, I'm dying to read it. This is the softest cover I have ever touched in my life. So much so that I'm scared of touching it too much and ruining it. As you can tell, it has this beautiful floral, and the colors are just absolutely gorgeous. This pink and the red and the orange with the gold and the blue background. It's just absolutely beautiful. And how can I not, be enticed by a book called The Stationery Shop, given that I sell stationery on my website? Okay, so if you like The Kite Runner or The Notebook, you're gonna like this. That's interesting because those are very different books. Let's see what I have here. Oh, okay, so this is a letter from the author. I do have several of those too, and I tend to keep them inside the books. I don't think you're gonna see very many today. because actually recently I've been moving things out of my bookshelf, and so I've been putting things away in a safer way. But yes, this one I'm actually dying to read, but also a book that I might give away. We shall see. Okay. Summer Darlings. Oh, my darling. So this actually went on sale recently, and I, again, so behind on my reading. So behind. Oh no, what happened to this book? It got bent. Is this one signed? I have several that are signed as well. This one seems not to be. And as you'd see, it says not for sale. Advanced reader copies cannot be sold. They can be given away, they can be put away, you can just, I don't know, collect them or something, but you cannot sell them. So this is a way for me also to sort of comb through all the books I have. I can't keep everything I receive. I just can't. I don't have the space for it. So yeah, this looks like actually the perfect book to read during summer, doesn't it? I think so. Okay, let's keep going because there's a lot to get through, like a lot. Sorry about that, that was my pupper. I'm gonna insert a picture of her somewhere here because everyone deserves to see this cuteness. So, Smokescreen, thriller. I sometimes read thrillers, but not often. See, advanced reading copy to be published in hardcover and ebook. This is not a hardcover and it's obviously not an ebook. Here's another letter. Is this one signed? Oh, look at that. So it's signed but not really. It's printed signed. So yeah, not the same. Thrillers are not something that I read usually, and so these are the type of books that generally fall to the bottom of my to-read list. It might be super interesting, it might be, you know, one of the best books I ever read, but everyone who writes reviews has a set amount of things that they usually read or watch or whatever they write reviews on, and so I can't write reviews on absolutely everything. Thrillers generally fall to the bottom of the list, right along with horror, suspense, things like that. They're just not my jam. Shadow Amongst Sheaves. Don't blame me if I mispronounce any of this, okay? I learned most of my English from reading, which means that 3/4 of my words, can't pronounce them. This is a very pretty cover though. Let's see. Naomi Stevens. A timeless, beautiful allegory of the biblical love story of Ruth and Boaz. Okay, so religious books don't even fall to the bottom of the pile. Religious books just don't get read. I do not read religious books at all. This is a retelling of a story, so I might think about it. But religious books just, they're not something that I read for various reasons. Even though I have read the Bible just because I felt it was important as a work of literature, I'm Jewish, and so I find it unfair to read this or any religious book that isn't Jewish, you know, because then I put my own sort of bias toward it, and it just, yeah, so I don't read religious books. I feel like it's more trouble than it's worth, to be completely honest. And then you have to look up the stories and research and all sorts of things that no, just not for me. Uncorrected proof, not for sale. So when they say uncorrected proof, it generally means exactly what you think. Yes, some people have read it, but yes, this is not the final copy, so you will see errors in it, grammatical errors or little things that will be changed. The story, in essence, will remain the same, but you know, things will be changed. I don't know what happened to this book. I swear I put them on a bookshelf. I don't know how they get bent. But tell me this isn't a beautiful cover. I mean, this immediately makes you think of the 20s, immediately. And so I'm assuming this takes place in the 20s. It's called The Joyce Girl, a novel. James Joyce was her father. Samuel Beckett was her lover. This is her story. So This sounds just really interesting. But of course, before I read something like this, I would have to do a little bit of research on James Joyce and Samuel Beckett so that I have a better understanding before I go into reading this book of what the book is meant to be about. It does take place in 1928, it says right there. So this definitely might make it on my to-read list, but it won't be something that I read immediately. Actually, right now I'm trying to read short books first. I know that sounds ridiculous, but it's just I've been in a funk, and so I feel that by finishing books quickly, I will manage to, you know, get back into the going of things and stuff. Travelers, a novel. Again, advanced reader copy, not for sale. I actually really love this cover. It's just, well, you know, I sell educational stuff. If you guys don't know I keep saying I sell this stuff, I sell that stuff. I design materials for teachers and parents and students in general, so all sorts of stationery and educational tools, you know, worksheets, learning how to read, how to write, learning how to say a certain word for really young children. And so things like this just pushes my buttons. I like it. I think it's very adorable. This, oh, it is, yeah. I thought, it says it right here. I don't know why. For a minute I was like, this is not an advanced reader copy. Yes, it is. I have no idea what this is about. Accompanying his wife on a prestigious art fellowship in Berlin, a Nigerian scholar finds that there are no walls between his privileged, secure existence and the stories of other Africans on the move. There's a transgender person, a Libyan doctor, a Somalian shopkeeper. So, books like this, which are, it seems to be a character book, so it's a book much more focused on the characters than whatever happens to them. It's about character development and who these people are and really flushing out who they are and how their relationships sort of affect one another. I quite enjoy those books. They tend to be heavy reads. They tend to be a little bit difficult to follow because you have a lot of characters with a lot of opinions and a lot of different things. Well-written books will not make that such an issue. Not so well-written books will be more difficult to follow because the characters were sort of blend together. Even though they're meant to be different people, they will have so much in common that you know, they might as well be the same person. So I'm interested to see how that goes. Something like this, to be completely honest with you, Christmas at Rosie Hopkins' Sweet Shop, is one of the things that I would say I would read immediately, just because things like this, sort of short romances, especially around Christmas, which, you know, Christmas at Rosie Hopkins' Sweet Shop, so definitely Christmas. These tend to be really quick reads, not very difficult, just sort of easy to digest. And so this is the type of book that might get me back into, you know, reading more things. Although this is not an advanced reader's copy. So this is just a book I received for review, but it's not an advanced reader's copy. It's just a book I received for review. Is it signed? I like it when they sign it because I feel like you're asking me to do something for you for free. I don't charge to write these reviews. Obviously, it's just part of my job. But you're asking me to do something for free. And yes, I received the book, but I need it in order to do what you want me to do. And so I like it when they sign it. It feels a little bit like, you know, thank you for doing this thing. The Black Fox of Beckham. So this book I've already read. As you can tell, the letter is messed up. But it came with, let me see. It came with a bookmark, which I love so much. If you're not gonna sign the book, give me a bookmark. I need it. I promise you, I need it. I always need a bookmark. I'm always running out of bookmarks. Right now, it's marking one of my favorite passages in the book. This is a very inclusive book and a very interesting book. and I do recommend it. It's super short, quick read, just fun. I would call this probably middle grade. Yeah, middle grade or very, very, very young adult. Fun book. I enjoyed that. If you want to read my review of that, it's on my website, on the blog. That is charliesbookstore.com. So, How We Speak to One Another, an essay, daily reader. I will read it. I will read all of these books eventually, except the religious ones. Oh, and also the adult ones. I don't read those either. They're just not my jam. Nothing against them. If you like them, hey, go for it. They're just not my jam. Outcry. New voices speak out about the power of the church. So this is another book that I'm just never going to touch. Yeah, I'm just not gonna read this at all. So this is gonna end up either abandoned or on a giveaway, in a giveaway. I think the way that the giveaways are going to go is that I'm going to have a few different books or a few different things that can be won, and then the person who wins gets to pick. That's the best way, I think, to do it, because does it really work if I pick the giveaway for you? I don't know what type of book you like, So I don't know. We'll figure it out together. We're a long ways from 100 subscribers anyway, but I just thought this would be sort of a fun introduction to what the giveaways on this channel will be like. The cover says it all, right? Not gonna touch this, not gonna read this. The thing is, it doesn't even seem interesting to me. It might seem interesting to you, and again, acceptable. Everyone can read whatever they want. I have no issue with that. But I mean, let's just look at the composition of this for a minute, right? The font, not my favorite. This B doesn't really look like a B. This makes it look like it's probably from King Arthur's time, but they're standing in front of wooden paneling, which would not have existed. Her dress is strapless, which would not have happened. I don't know, my guy. I don't know. I'm sure it's an easy read. It's just not my type of read. So that is just not happening. And after showing you an adult novel, here's another adult novel. And look, this one is autographed. I'm still not gonna read it though. Taming Her Mate. I just, So just because of this, it seems like he turns into a bear. Look, I got more samples of more adult books that I'm not going to purchase or buy. To Carla, Roar. That means enjoy in bear. I mean, it's a cute signature. I mean, thank you so much. I appreciate it being signed, absolutely. It's just, it's a very heavy book. The quality of this paper is surprisingly good. I don't know. I feel like maybe I should read it just because she went through the trouble of autographing it, but we'll see. Not my cup of tea. Just not my cup of tea. Your Body, Your Best Friend, our advanced reader copy. It's already been published. End of confidence-crushing pursuit of unrealistic beauty standards and embrace your true power. This actually seems interesting. I also tried to read this. See, page 15. Never made it through. These books, which are about just like sort of self-help, healthy takes on life, are very difficult for me to read. They just are. I'm not sure why. I think they're just scientific enough that it's annoying, and not scientific enough for me to take it seriously, generally. I'm not saying that's the case with this book. I haven't read enough of it to say that. But yeah, also, it's talking about ending the confidence-crushing pursuit of unrealistic beauty standards. But what they show here is sort of the Coca-Cola woman's 90-60-90 shape. This would be the waist, this would be the butt, just so you have an idea. And so, I don't know, you're talking about getting rid of unrealistic beauty standards, but you should still you know, you should still be an hourglass figure. Look, these are just choices that people make, and sometimes it's not even the author who makes these choices, by the way. Usually the publisher makes the choices on the cover, so I can't blame the author for this. It's just unfortunate. The Unforgotten World of Ava, a mystical love story. I read this thinking that it was some sort of, I don't know, maybe fantasy, or maybe, you know, just something, I don't know. I thought it was something fantastical. And then I realized it's an adult fiction book. So it's like, you know, a dirty book. Which again, if you like it, fine, it's just not my cup of tea. But it's so badly written. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean or rude to the author. It's just not a good book. I know it's the reader's favorite. Congratulations to those readers who got through this thinking it was a good book. I don't know what to tell you. It is just so bad. To be completely honest, I have read fan fictions that were better than this. If you want it, I will send it to you, but sincerely, don't read that book. It's just not worth your trouble. And it seems that there's a theme, right? I grabbed an adult book, and then another adult book came up, and then I grabbed a religious book, and then another religious book came up. So then I grabbed a bad book, and another bad book came up. It sort of touches on all the things that I don't like. I don't really like flashbacks. I feel like you should find a more interesting way to tell me what happened in the past. You know, why is this character angry, sad, mean, psychotic, whatever. If you need a flashback, then tell me the story as it happens. Start back then. That's just a me thing. I'm not saying everybody needs to be this way, but yeah. This book, just not my favorite. I will finish it because I hate leaving books unfinished. I generally go back and finish them eventually, but I just had a really hard time getting through that. This, actually, I read as soon as I got it, and I didn't really feel like reading anything at the time, and I figured, well, this is something I don't usually read. It's a mystery, and I don't usually read it, but the cover is kind of cool. It has all these colors, and I know, don't judge a book by its cover, but I did, and I thought, look, I need to read something, and maybe reading something that I'm not used to will get me out of the funk. And this got me out of my funk. It is so fun to follow. It's not the best written book, it just isn't, but it is a fun story. It is written in such a way that you just want to keep reading. You want to get to the next chapter. You want to know what happens next. It's just, yeah, this was a very fun book, and it is a Harper McLean mystery. Harper McLean is a character that this particular author has written many books, not about, but she's the protagonist in various books of hers, and recommend if, you know, you just want like sort of a fun mystery read. This was a fun one. I don't review books like this. I don't review books about anything that's army, war, anything like that. And then there's the whole, you know, religious part of it. So I don't know why I got sent this. It does sound interesting, but it's just not something that I'm going to be reviewing anytime soon. I might read it, might being the operative word here, but it's not something that I'm going to be reviewing anytime soon. So yeah, I don't know. Publishers are just very bad at they just sort of send their book to a bunch of people hoping that somebody will give it a good review. I feel they don't really do their research, but yeah. Okay, The Hill to Die On. This is a book that I'm also not going to review because I don't want to get yelled at by the blues or the reds. It doesn't matter who I vote for. I'm not going to tell you, but I'm definitely going to read this because I am a highly political person. I mean, the title says it all: The Hill to Die On, The Battle for Congress, and the Future of Trump's America. I think this is going to be a very interesting read. I have not read it yet. Looking forward to it though. I really, really am. Now tell me this isn't a super cool cover. This is so cool. I have no idea what this book is about. But I mean, I want to read it. There's space, there's a person, probably a woman. So, Commander Miriam May Knox wakes up from a medically induced coma alone, adrift in space on a rapidly failing ship, with little to no memory of who she is or why she's there. Okay. I mean, I will read it because I will read all of these books, except the ones that I mentioned I don't read. Alrighty, moving along. I know I'm moving through books maybe a little quickly, but guys, we're already about 30 minutes in and about half the box is left, so you know, I don't want to keep you forever and a day. Advanced and corrected proof, not for sale, sale for 9, so it's already for sale. By Anne Perry, a Daniel Pitt novel, Triple Jeopardy. This seems like a period romance, is it? I have no idea. We have no information. Oh, wait, the information might be here. Sorry that I'm not showing you the letters, but they have addresses, and so I can't really show you that. It doesn't say much, so... Oh, maybe it's here. Against his better judgment, young lawyer Daniel Pitt must defend a British diplomat who may be involved in a cover-up for murder. In the second novel, the New York Times best-selling author Anne Perry's riveting new series. So, this is a second book to a series? I've never read the first, so I'm gonna have to contact them about that. Betsy L. Howell, The Marvelous Orange Tree, a novel of the Civil War. Like I said, I don't generally read books about war. The Civil War is a particularly interesting one though, so we'll see. 20-year-old Robert Taylor is a private in Ulysses Grant's army of the Tennessee and one of the 1,000 soldiers involved in the 1863 campaign to take, Vicksburg, Mississippi, there you go, from the Confederates. The Marvelous Orange Tree recreates the Civil War era and its aftermath in a world where secrets are best kept when they remain in plain sight, just like the finest magic trick. You know what? That sounds interesting. And actually, I have 2 of those, so this is definitely going to be one of the books that are, let me see. One of them is signed, I'm sure. Yeah, see, this one is signed. That is going to be in a giveaway. Sounds very interesting, actually. Ugh. Okay. Kate Atkinson, Big Sky. Secret Sex and Lies. Ooh. Sounds like Shakespeare. So, oh, there you go. That's why I have it. So this was released in 2019, so it was probably sent to me for review, even though it's not an advanced reader copy. I don't know. It looks interesting. I like the sky. There's only so much you can say about a blue cover. Becoming Superman. My journey from poverty to Hollywood, with stops along the way at murder, madness, mayhem, movie stars, cults, slums, sociopaths, and war crimes. If you think that doesn't sound interesting, we are not friends. From the writer of Babylon 5, Sense8. Have you seen Sense8? It's amazing. A little, in my opinion, too many sex scenes, but it is an amazing show. The Amazing Spider-Man and Clint Eastwood's Changeling. I almost said challenging, that's not it. This one is not signed. No, it is not. Notice this is one of the things that happens when you get advanced reader copies. Because things might change, they don't actually print the page numbers. So all my page numbers say 0, which is fine because you read a book in order. So, ooh, this might be the next book I read. That sounds just very interesting. The remaking. Didn't I just show you this book? Yes, I did. So, okay. So here you go. This is the final cover. Let me find the other one so that I can show you. I have 2 of these. This is the advanced reader copy. This is not. and that's what they changed. Okay, so what they changed was that here you can see the image is black and white, whereas here it is metallic. Very cool. The rest of it, I mean, it's the same thing. Look at that. Same thing. Oh, this changed color from white to gold, but that's just part of the same metallic thing. And of course, this one is hardcover. Ooh, I like this color. Okay, so there you go, 2 of those. So definitely at least one of them will get given away. So remember to share this video. I'm gonna use this instant to remind you to share this video, because as soon as we get to 100 subscribers, you get one of these amazing books, or maybe another one, I don't know. Go on my website, you can pick any book you want. I find this an interesting title, God and Autobiography. I know just enough about different religions to know that God probably wouldn't write an autobiography as told to a philosopher. So this book came like this. This goes around the book. The reason that I'm not putting it back on before I show it to you is I don't want to mess with it too much, because it's already ripped, and it is just such an important part of this book that I don't want to mess it up. So there you go. This is real wax, by the way, or maybe it's plastic, I don't know, but it's a real wax seal. It's 3D and it's just so cool. The book itself is very cool, right? The fact that the cover doesn't go all the way, the fact that I got a bookmark with it and a letter. Just a lot of this is great, and this was published 6/18/19. I'm checking if it is signed. It is not signed. That's all right. Ugh. But look how cool this book is. It's just, and of course that lines up with this. So, I mean, I have the book again. This one in hardcover, without the band. Just such a cool book. Another one of those health, feel better, be cooler, look like me books. Yeah, you know. Not signed. Really thin paper, so not my favorite. Enough said about this, I think. I am absolutely looking forward to this book. I am so looking forward to this book because, so it's called The Sweeney Sisters, and to me, I don't know if it's meant to be this way, but to me, this might be a retelling of Pride and Prejudice. 4 sisters, one of them is blonde. Okay, so this is an advanced reader's edition. I believe this book is already for sale. Let me see. Date, where are you? Date, I know you. April 2020. So yeah, you can already purchase this book, and I've only heard good things from other reviewers, so I'm looking forward to it. I have 0 spoilers, so I have not even opened it to the first chapter. I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be one of my next reads, definitely. The Gimmicks in Novel, Advanced Reader's Edition, not for sale. This cover has a very interesting texture. If you've ever done watercolor, this is like watercolor paper. Makes me feel icky. By Chris McCormick. Let's see if it's signed. It is not signed. This is also really thin paper. Ooh. There you go. So it's about Armenian wrestlers. That's all I know about it, so that's all I can say about it. This is an advanced reading copy that I've had for a long time. I have not read it. I have other Lee Child books. I have other Jack Reacher novels. And I don't know, I just never read any of them. I don't know why. I don't have a good reason for it. I just haven't. So I don't know. Should I read it? It's a military thing, and I'm just not into military books. I don't know. We will see. This book, however, I am absolutely looking forward to. I don't know why. I think the cover is kind of dark and mysterious and cool and a little cold. Not a little cold, it's blue. Of course it's cold. So There you go. Is it signed? It is not signed. It's called A Good Sister, and it is dedicated to David. I wonder if that's a brother. That would be very cool. I don't think it is, but until June 2019, so you know, I'm a year behind on my reading. That's how far behind I am. Martha and Becky Blackwater are more than sisters. They're each other's lifelines. When Martha finds herself struggling to balance early motherhood and her growing business, Becky steps in to babysit her niece, Lila, without second thought, bringing the two women closer than ever. But then the unthinkable happens, and Becky is charged with murder. Yes, I will read that. This Little Light came out recently, actually, like very recently, August 2020, so it hasn't come out yet. It does come out very soon. So this might be the next book I read. I know I've said that 3 times already, but this might be the next book I read because it would be nice to actually get a review out before a book comes out for once. Look at this beautiful cover. Tell me this isn't absolutely gorgeous. Of course you have the girl or woman, we don't know, with a beautiful bow, which I'm assuming is significant given the size of it. And then you have this flame right here, which I'm assuming is where the light comes from. I don't know. It's just beautiful cover. So beautiful. It takes place in 2024, so that's very different in that most of these other books take place in the past, or they don't really give you a time frame at all, which is fine. But this takes place in the future, so it's interesting. I think it's going to be interesting to see what this particular author thinks about what the world will be like in 2024, if we still have a world. A Girl's Guide to the Outback, a novel by Jessica Kate. I can't tell you for sure. I suspect this is some sort of love, romance scenario. But it's such a cute cover. Oh, that's interesting. Okay, so most of the cover is this, I don't know what to call that. It's a little bit of a rough surface, but then the writing is super, super, super smooth and glossy. Pretty cool. It's like newsprint, this paper. It is so thin that just by turning them, I'm going to rip them. Seems interesting, seems cute. It's yellow. I mean, everybody needs a little bit of yellow on their bookcase. So many books are just like black and sad. Now, tell me this isn't a super cool cover. Super cool. They are trees. They are trees, sort of done in this old idea of 3D with the pink and the blue, and everything is just slightly one on top of the other. But it looks like veins to me. I don't know if that's meant to be that way, but it just looks very cool. And there's very little sky, which might indicate that a person feels trapped in this book. We shall see. Oh my goodness, real paper. That's nice. November 3rd, 2020, so it has not come out yet, so I might read this before it comes out, hopefully. And y'all will find out what I think about it eventually. Okay, The Bone Collector. I don't know what happened to this book. It got like this. It got like, wow, words. I can. When I received it, it was already ripped and bent and yucky. But this just sounds cool, right? The Bone Collector just sounds cool. So I'm assuming this has to do with killing and murder and all sorts of cool things. Adult novel I will never touch. Autographed by author. The end. That's all I'm saying on that. Okay, let's talk about this for a minute. The size of these books in comparison to most books, right? Most books are about 5 by 8. This book is tiny. And that's kind of great if you're just throwing it in your purse and traveling with it. It's kind of fantastic. The problem with these books is that as soon as you open them, the spine starts to crack. Nothing bad happens to the book, but you know, it's nice to keep a book looking nice when you're reading. It's impossible to do that with this, because if I open it enough to actually read the first word in each page, I have to pull, which will eventually mark this. So I'm not gonna open it, but I am gonna read it. It's one of those really quick reads that I'm sure will get me back into reading. This is a book that I generally would not read. The cover alone lets you know that it's kind of what's the word for this? It's science fiction-y. There's a robot. Maybe it's about video games. Keep your friends close and your weapons hot. So there's weapons involved, which is not my favorite thing. But it looks so cool though. It came out August 6, 2019. So I think what I might do, since it already came out, is I might look up other reviews to see if it's something that I might actually be interested in. I don't want to waste my time right now, given that I'm this behind on my reading something that I'm not going to enjoy. And here we have another copy of this, which we already went through. And there you go. That was the last book. So we have officially gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42 books. And all of them might be part of a giveaway as soon as we hit 100 subscribers. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Comment and let me know if you like videos like this, if you don't like videos like this. Give me a thumbs up, or if you really hated this video, give me a thumbs down twice so that I really know that you hated it thoroughly. I have 3,000 books in my house right now, so we can do all sorts of book type videos. Today it was just about going through arcs and the books that are on my immediate to read list. And to show you what you might be getting as part of a giveaway once we reach 100 subscribers. But we can do all sorts of other book videos, we can do reviews, we can actually read books together. So let me know if you're interested in seeing other book videos, and I will see you soon. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Bye-bye.